know about Jason's site.
So Jason posted it on his site? So everyone saw Zoe?
No. It's not that kind of site. It's private. It's not a public site. It's private and expensive for, like, specific clientele.
We're talking about child porn here, right?
That was a clip of Saving Zoe, a movie produced by starring actresses and activists Laura and Vanessa Marano. They join us now to talk about this film that I think so many parents will want to see. Thank you for joining us. Laura, how did this change you working on this project?
Thank you so much for having us, by the way. We found out about this story. It's based on a book, Saving Zoe by Allison Noel, when I was 11. And I remember reading it and just feeling really connected to it. You know, as a sister, as a young girl, it just felt something that felt very real and something that we should know. I feel like throughout the show, you've been talking about and people talking about how this happens so much more than we realize. And from this project, Vanessa and I and our mother have learned so much more about human trafficking and sex trafficking.
Absolutely. And Vanessa, one of the things I didn't know that you talked about in your activism is that there's legislation that's passed the House, it's stalled down the Senate, that would help survivors of human trafficking.
Yes, the Put Sex Trafficking Victims First Act of 2019 was introduced in the House by Karen Bass. It passed in a bipartisan fashion. Only one Congress person opposed it in the whole House of Representatives. It has been sitting on the Senate floor since February 2019. Which is incredibly frustrating because I think what you've so eloquently pointed out during your whole show today, Tamron, is that we need to listen to survivors. We need survivor-informed solutions. It's not fair for us to expect survivors to relive their trauma, tell us their stories in the press, tell their stories to lawmakers, and then not have a seat at the table when policy is being made.
Absolutely. And Laura, you know, you both are hugely popular on social media. Millions of people follow you. And so much of this storyline, again, taps into, these aren't people jumping out of alleys, grabbing young girls and boys. These are people luring them in to put up nude pictures, to come out of the family's home and run away with the help of social media, which is so conflicting because it can be for good, clearly, but people are using it for such bad.
Yeah, you know, online sexual exploitation is something that in some ways is new, but exploitation is as old as you can get, right? And what's so interesting about Saving Zoe is, again, it was written, you know, when I was 11. I mean, this is like over a decade ago, and it's just become more and more relevant. You have the online gaming industry or situation where this happens a lot. Huge.
Yeah.
And I think, again, what people kind of need to look out for is this idea that traffickers prey on vulnerability, and vulnerability looks very different in different ways. So it can be obviously people in marginalized communities. It can be a girl posting on social media, "I feel so ugly," and a trafficker taking advantage of this. It could be someone who's playing a game who's like, "I can't afford this other game I want," and a trafficker takes advantage of that opportunity and that vulnerability.
Well, I know, Vanessa, you and Laura, using your talent, your voice, your passion to help someone else, that is what life's purpose is about. So congratulations on speaking up and speaking out and speaking truth to power through the many millions of young people who are watching you. So thank you so much. I appreciate you